Alright, so the best thing to do, the cheapest way of doing this, besides just using a loaf of bread, is to buy hot dog rolls in bulk a lot of the time like this. So these are a 12 pack from Coles, and I actually got 2 packs for $3.50. So I got 24 rolls for $3.50, which is amazing. And then you can just decide on how many rolls you want to package up. If you're making them in bulk for the freezer like I do for your family, or if you're going to make it on the night, you know, you can decide that. So that's what I'm using. So I've gone ahead and cut up the 12 rolls at the moment and done this. But I've pulled 3 out. I'm just going to show you the 3 different ones I'm actually doing tonight for dinner that are super simple and easy. So the first one I'm going to do is just normal standard garlic bread. So this is super easy to use. You can use butter or margarine. I like to use margarine just because it's softer and we like the taste better. I have a mixed herb here, so you can use fresh herbs, but this is always good to have on hand, and because I'm mixing it in, it doesn't really matter to me, so I use this one, the Master Foods. And then just any minced garlic. Of course you can chop up your own and stuff, but the easiest thing to do is just to buy minced garlic. You can get it in all the supermarkets, it's like $2 a jar, like it's super cheap. So this is definitely a cheap way of doing the garlic bread. So what I do in here is per 1 tablespoon of butter or margarine, I mix 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. So I've done a lot here because I'm actually going to make a lot of rolls and put some in the freezer. So I mix those 2 up, and then I sprinkle in mixed herbs, so just as much as you like. I don't put a huge amount in because the kids don't love this as much, but I like to have a little bit there. So it's super easy. So when you put it all in together, I usually get a knife and do it this way. It just mixes it up easier, especially when you've got the garlic in there as well. And the herbs, you want to make sure that they're all, you know, mixed up and not just in a big clump. The rolls themselves I've cut like this. You can cut them completely in half if you want to, but when I'm actually freezing them, like making up batches for the freezer, I keep them like this just until we're ready to use them, and then I sort of pull them apart. But you can just do that, and all you're going to do is just butter each side. It's really up to you how much you put on there, but I like to give it pretty good coverage, especially with the butter. And if you've got a lot to do, you could use a spatula to get it done quicker, but I'm just doing this one for tonight and showing you guys, so I'm just going to use a knife. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Pretty good at full coverage. Go heavy with the butter because it's all going to melt and stuff, and it tastes better that way. So I just do it like this, and it's going to be put onto a tray. When I've cooked it, I'll show you guys what it looks like, but you can actually cut it up obviously from here and into however many pieces you want, or just give people, you know, 1 big slice. It's up to you. So yeah, garlic bread done. There's a little bit of herbs there. Like I said, if you want to add more, you can do that, or you want to add fresh parsley or something, you can do that. But for us, this is what we like to do. So garlic bread, super simple, super easy. Next bread I'm doing is just a herb bread. So if you don't like garlic, or your kids don't like garlic, a herb bread's always a really good option too. Now, it's pretty simple. I just butter the bread, and then I'll sprinkle herbs onto it. For me, I'm just using the mixed herbs again because I'm cooking it up. It doesn't really matter, but if you just want to do like a parsley or something, or a fresh parsley, that's really nice to put on there as well. Just depends what your taste is, but again, it's just super simple if you don't want that garlic taste in there. Again, with the butter, you want to give good coverage. Don't be too shy on it because it's going to cook and melt, and that's what's going to come up really nice and toasty as well in the oven. So you want to make sure you've still got a good amount on there. The herbs, I'm just using the mixed herbs. Like I said, I just do like a light sprinkle. The reason I don't mix this into the butter first is because it's a herb bread, so you want to decide on, you know, how much herbs are going into it. If you mix it all up like the garlic bread, you're getting, you know, not as much as what you probably want for a herb bread, so I like to do it this way. There you go, just like that, and we'll just pop that on the tray to cook. Alright, so next is my garlic, herb and cheese bread. So for this one, I mix up the butter or margarine, whatever you're using, and garlic again. So it's 1 tablespoon to 1 tablespoon of, like 1 tablespoon of margarine to 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, like I showed you in the first one. I just thought I'd show you this time how I mix it. So I put it all in together and use the knife that way. It just helps break it up and mix it all. You can get a spoon after this, but this is the best way to sort of mix it. You can also use a fork if you want as well. That works really well. But I just use this because I'm going to use this to spread it, obviously. Right, and the other two ingredients you want is, again, my mixed herbs I've just used, or if you want to use a parsley instead or something, because this is for sprinkling on top. I don't have that, so I just use this for all of them, for everything. And then you want a cheese, a shredded cheese. I use this one. It's a pizza cheese and I love this. This is from Aldi. You can get a similar version in the supermarkets, but it's cheapest at Aldi. And it's a blend of shredded mozzarella, tasty cheddar and Parmesan cheese. It's so good on this, and it's great for when you're doing pizzas. So if you wanted to do like a garlic pizza as well, do it using this method, use this cheese on that as well. It's really, really great. So that's what I'm going to be using on top. Just like we did before, you want to give good coverage. So I'm not mixing the herbs into this one because I'm going to be putting it on top. And if you've got parsley, it's nice to do it with just parsley on top for sure. Give it pretty good coverage. You can do this one to freeze as well. The only thing with this though, if you do it, once you put the cheese on top, you need to freeze your bread separately like this so it stays on top, and then you can, you know, wrap them and put them away in your freezer to use at a later date. Otherwise, if you just put the cheese on and try to put them all together, it's just going to stick together. It's not going to be any good on the day that you actually want to cook it. All right, a little bit of cheese. You've got to be careful on how much cheese you put on too. As much as people probably want to put a huge amount on there, it won't toast up if you've got too much, and then the rest of the bread will burn before this actually cooks. So I put enough on, but I just make sure I can still sort of see the butter as well. Otherwise, it's just, yeah, it's not going to cook well. Ooh. Okay, and then on top you just sprinkle with herbs, or like I said, fresh parsley or something like that is really nice too. I don't put a huge amount because it's just like a garnish for me. But you can do whatever you like. Alright, so they're all on the tray ready to cook. I just put baking paper down. Obviously it just helps the bottom not burn so much if the tray gets really hot, so do it that way. Plus, this is the front of the tray, this is the back, and that's why I've put this one with the cheese at the back, because it's like cooking roast potatoes. If you've got big ones, you want to put them at the back as opposed to the front, because it'll cook, you know, quicker at the back. So this is kind of the way I like to lay it out. So I'll just pop these in the oven on about 160 to 180. You don't want to do it too high because it'll burn the bread before it actually, especially with this one, it'll burn it before it actually toasts it up. I'll just put that on the bottom tray and we'll come back in about 5 to 10 minutes. And we're done guys. This is what the end result is. So I put them in 5 to 10 minutes. Definitely after 5 minutes you want to check, depending on your oven, how it's going, but just know not to cook them, obviously overcook them or they'll burn. But these are actually really good, especially with the cheese ones. Always put them at the back so you can keep an eye on them, but and because they're going to cook obviously with the cheese on them. But they look perfect, absolutely perfect. So the way I tell the difference between obviously the herb bread and just normal garlic bread, this one has obviously a bit more herbs on it than what the garlic bread does. But you can see it's all come through there. I will probably cut all these up just into different slices so everyone can choose which one they want for dinner. But otherwise, yeah, you could cut them up in bigger pieces, smaller pieces, or just serve obviously like this to someone on the side for dinner. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up. Check out the rest of the channel, the grocery haul and meal planning playlist. I do lots of different things like this on there. Have a look at that one. But otherwise, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you probably tomorrow.
If I'm gone by now